Welcome to the Stone Table. This isn't a stage, it's a gathering place. Here, lifters of all kinds bring their stories. The heavy, the honest, and the hard-earned. Real voices, real weight. Shared like a good pour among friends. Recorded in Ontario, Canada, and open to lifters everywhere. Slanche.
Welcome to the Stone Table Podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Innes. In today's episode, we're doing something called the Partner Edition, and I've been really looking forward to this one because this conversation isn't just about love as performance or stone lifting as performance. It's about lifting and relationship as both foundation and infrastructure. The kind that supports obsessive seasons of stone lifting, muddy boots, long drives, walking through water to get stones, sore bodies, and a quiet devotion that it takes to stand by someone who keeps choosing hard and meaningful things. And so today I am joined by two of my favorite people from New York, Hannah and Greg. Hannah is a Highland Games athlete. She's a stone lifter. She's a strong woman. She's a pro arm lifting athlete. She has done all the things and is actively stewarding and curating stone culture in Western New York through the at WNY Stonelifters on Instagram. And joining her today is her partner, Greg, who,
Bye.
as you can see through Instagram, loves all the crazy and wild things that she gets up to. He's a former football player. Was in shot and powerlifter. And I couldn't get much more about him because his Instagram presence is definitely not as a strong game as Hannah's is. So welcome to the show today, guys.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Having us.
Yeah, no, thanks so much. So as we start usually, and I think we need it after what we've went through to get hooked up today around the table. But what are you drinking today?
So we stopped at Timmy Ho's and I got an iced coffee and he got a hot coffee.
Yeah, double.
Double. Western New York style.
Yeah, don't say double unless you're from Western New York. No one understands it.
Yeah.
Well, it's also a very Canadian thing. And I do love that you have the Tims because it is.
We do too.
Very Canadian-esque. And I'm deciding to keep it in the Canadian family too, because one, it's been a long day. And two, we can't get American bourbon right now because of all the trade stuff. So I'm trying this Barn Burner, my first time. It's a Canadian whiskey and supposedly it's quite good. So having a little shot of that as we go, as you have your Timmy Ho. So slancha.
Cheers.
All right. Oh, that's not bad.
Ooh.
So for those that are whiskey drinkers, this is made in oak barrels. It's quite good. So add it to your list for sure. But diving right in, because we have a lot of things to cover today, not only, kind of love and romance. We're talking all stones and whatever else in between. But before we get into that, I gave a brief overview for listeners, a bit about yourself. Could you just, Hannah, can you just start and kind of tell us a bit about who Hannah is?
Yeah. So I got into shot put and discus when I was a freshman in high school. But both of my parents threw when they were in high school. So they started teaching me maybe when I was 10. So I had a lot of knowledge going into it and I was always strong. And so I was actually benching in the weight room when a coach sought me out. So I started that and I ended up doing really well. I worked out like 3 times a day. I would wake up, I would lift, I'd go to school. I'd go to the weight room. I'd convince them to let me go and I would lift. Then I'd go to practice. And then I would go back to the weight room with the varsity football team and lift more. And so I got really strong. So that was fun. I had a lot of fun getting strong and being strong around guys. So I did that. And then in my, I want to say sophomore year of high school, one of the coaches was talking to me about Highland Games, and I had heard about it because everybody knows what a caber toss is. I feel like it's the biggest strength party trick in my opinion. And so I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
And going into my junior year, I started training for it in the summer a little bit. And then in I think it was 2015, I did my first game. And there were only 3 of us because everyone knows the presence of women in strength sports isn't as great as it could be. But I ended up getting second and I was hooked. I loved it immediately. And so I made it my goal to be a successful Highland Game athlete. And so I was planning on throwing in college. I got scouted from a ton of schools all over the Northeast and the East Coast. And things happened. I ended up quitting my senior year. So I didn't finish my senior year, but I still did Highland Games. And then where was I in my life at that point? I kind of got out of strength training in general for a while. I was in a relationship that was toxic. I mean, I was toxic for him, he was toxic for me. And so I got out of strength training and sports altogether for a while. And so I picked it back up once that ended. And I ended up reconnecting with Greg because we had connected previously. And now it's a part of life, strength training, stone lifting, Highland Games grip, going on adventures with Greg to lift heavy things.
To find random stones in the middle of some creek we stopped at a PA.
That's pretty much that's it. I love adventures. I love lifting. And I love Greg.
Nice life story.
Well, and that's how you and I first met, through our friend Haley, right? Like we met at a strongman, either strongman comp first or Highland Games. I'm not sure.
Strongman.
And that's where I met you too, Greg. So Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself. Was it strongman?
Yeah.
I think we both set state records that day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we did. We trained together. You did once
yours
before.
In was it
Farmers?
Yeah. And then, yeah, it was Farmers. You got Farmers and I got Overhead. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you still hold that record?
I do. And I am kind of casually working towards the national record because I'm not too far off.
Wow. And what are you aiming that? Can you, is that something you can do at the Arnolds, or where would you do that?
So there's usually some comps in New Jersey and Pennsylvania that hold national record breakers. And so I am not at the point where I was back then, but I'm working on that. And I'm hoping that that's the goal for, I want to say 2027. I feel like that's a reasonable timeline.
We got a lot going on this year, so it's probably going to be a minute.
Hard to fit it all in. So,
yeah.
Greg.
Yeah.
You are the silent supporter here. I
wouldn't say silent
when Hannah's speaking about all the things. Well, tell us a bit about you and your role in this relationship.
Do you want a life story, or do you want a quick rundown of what I've been doing?
Yeah, give me a quick rundown of your life.
So we met at a UB throwing camp for Excel track and field throwers and stuff, and just different athletes. And like we hung out and sat next to each other in the bleachers so many years ago. That's like crazy.
Yeah, it was 2015. We ended up meeting, and we ended up talking for a little bit afterwards. And then
I was in a relationship at the time, and we were still pretty young and on different paths. We didn't really know each other too. So yeah. But I threw when I went to the Junior Olympics 3 or 4 times, and I won it twice, and I came in second a couple of times. But all through high school was a little tough. I dealt with some major injuries. I had a full meniscus tear in both my knees, so that was pretty bad. It was super hard to do the rotational after that, and everything, like my throwing just went down, so I just glided my last year, so it was tough. And then I played football, but college wasn't for me, so I couldn't keep myself there. I wanted to be doing something, not sitting in a classroom, Yeah, so And I just love lifting. I've
Yeah.
always picked up
Using your
rocks
hands,
too.
eh? And because
Yeah.
you're a welder by trade, right?
hmm
Which is super helpful
Yeah.
when it comes to
Yeah.
stone lifting, running stone lifting comps and strongman because you
Yeah.
can make stuff for us.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
okay, you both had a strong history in like the shot
Mm.
and lifting stones. So tell me your origin story. When did stone lifting start for you, Hannah?
So I started to take a liking to them with Highland Games. I remember I did at my first ever Highland game
Mhm.
a challenge throw. And it was, I can't remember the exact weight of it. I want to say it was maybe somewhere from 50 to 70
it was
pounds. And I threw it. I can't remember how far, but it was impressive. A lot of people were impressed, and I won for the women. And I thought that that was just the coolest thing. And I didn't really do anything with stones again until strongman with Atlas stones. I ended up loving Atlas stones.
Mhm.
And I mean, I just kept kind of getting an itch for heavier Atlas stones. I'm saying Atlas stones a lot. But I I always had a lot of fun doing stone to shoulder. Back when I first,
Mhm.
not when I first started, maybe like my second year in, I got a 200 to shoulder with no tacky, no chalk. And so that my love for stones was growing even more. And then at the Fort at 4, I was aware of the stone lifting community and I watched from afar on social media, but I ended up messing around with the stones because they were right next to the sheaf throw and we were waiting for the men to finish. So I remember Haley and I were just picking up stones. We were pressing them. We were getting them to chest and it was a lot of fun. And at the end of the comp, right before the torrential downpour, that was absolutely disgusting where you and I were hiding out in
Yes.
the beer tent. I remember I picked up the Lundstrom
Yeah.
stones.
Not a bad place to be.
No. I remember I
Mhm.
picked up the Lundstrom walking stones and I didn't realize that it was an important thing at the time. So I was just messing around and I walked a little bit with them. And I thought that it was super fun. And at that point, I remember I looked at Haley and I said, we're coming back next year and we're going to do stones. But it was canceled, unfortunately. But the goal was to go back the following
Yeah.
year and just do stone lifting.
Yeah, so I was there and I lifted them the same day you did. And
Mhm.
it was the coolest thing because there's been very few women at that time had lifted those stones or had tried to lift those stones or even walk with them. And it's a phenomenal feat to be able to do that. And it's for me, it was one of my kind of bucket list items to check off completing lifting. That obviously, and the Lundstrom Atlas Stone, that's another one that I want to kind of do. But Greg, when you were you there watching Hannah lift the Lundstrom stones and walk with them?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm usually there. I can't. I don't have a great memory. I just go and support. It's kind of what I do.
He was there.
I was probably there. Yeah. I can't remember specific events, but I can.
And
And
did we get photo video of this or not? Was it because it was just so spontaneous you
it
didn't
was
get it on
super bad
video or
weather too.
No, Greg took a picture
it
because it all happened
was?
so quick. So we got a couple pictures. So I have one that wasn't blurry and I really wish we took a video, but I wasn't planning on doing it. I just picked them up and I started
Mm.
shuffling my feet a little bit.
Yeah. Was that the same? Did I try those?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so Greg, tell me, how did you get into stones? Was it because of Hannah or you said that
No.
it might have even started before
I've
Hannah
been
got
always on
into
the
it?
wild side of things ever since I was a kid. I've always been stronger than most adults. So just to prove my strength in every aspect of my life since I've been a kid, I used to pick up stones and lift stones when I was 4 or 5. We have a creek in the back of our house growing up, so my parents would collect rocks for our rock garden, and I would always carry them up. So that's kind of where my start came. Yeah. Love playing with rocks. Because it's like the ultimate feat of strength. It's you versus a big.
Yeah. And that's the same for me. Like I grew up on a farm, and part of living on a farm is lifting rocks around. And
Yeah,
as you say,
exactly.
at one time having rocks around the garden was also right. Like, so it was just
Yeah.
something that you kind of worked into your
Always did it.
normal
Yeah.
day. So Highland Games, you're not in Highland Games, right, Greg? Like you're just there as the active support person.
I tried one last year. It was a sight to behold, but I tried my best. And
You
I did
did.
pretty. I
Tell
did
me about
okay.
that.
It was tough. It was like I didn't really get a good opportunity to train. I've kind of been off. I like destroyed my body growing up. Like all I did was work out. I used to train 7 days a week in the
Yeah.
morning, at night. I used to be on a heavy grind cycle. You know what I mean? So I was always doing something with either football, indoor, or outdoor track. So I mean, I never got a break. So it's nice just to go to work and just. I want to get back into lifting and stuff. I do still do stones and stuff, but I don't go to the gym like I used to. And I think that's something I've really been missing in my life lately. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think, well, with everything coming up, I mean, I think there's something special that's happening. Is it this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's May
Coming
24th.
up.
We're getting married.
That's super exciting.
Tell me how that happened. How did that proposal come about?
It's pretty embarrassing on my part,
Was
honestly.
it sport related or?
Okay, so funny story about that. I wanted it to be. I was gonna do it in a stone. We got like a pretty bad blizzard that week, so that was. I mean, it wasn't possible to do it. And she was like kind of hinting that she was ready, and we were both we talked
Kind of
about it.
hinting. I was straight up
Like bothering me about it, but that's
Yeah.
beyond the point. But yeah, so we kind of like she kind of knew it was happening because I like couldn't control myself.
I knew what was happening
Because how
because
giddy I was,
he
probably.
grabbed the ring and said, "Let's head up to your house." And he had the ring in his pocket, and he kept like taking me out. He's like, "Oh, you want to see it?" And so he was so nervous.
Yeah.
And everyone knew it was happening at that point, so I kind of commandeered it, and I was like, "Hey, let's just go to the lake.
Yeah, we kind of
Go
just.
to the lake, and we'll look at the water." And so
Yes, we did.
it happened down there,
Yeah.
Lake Ontario.
We're not very big, and I'm not a planner. She's a planner, but I don't do things by the norm. I'm very my own person, and so is she. And we kind of learned over the years just to respect each other on that. Because I mean, she catches me just doing weird stuff all the time.
But how? No, but I'm trying to imagine. I'm trying to imagine this though. You two, like going out on a stone lifting tour. Have you been on a stone lifting tour together?
I haven't gone on a stone lifting tour at all.
Yeah.
I want to so bad.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to let's fast forward. You're on a stone lifting tour, and like with your two personalities, like how do you think that's worked? Like who's driving the car?
Me.
Who's giving the bad directions?
I'm driving. I'm navigating, and I'm planning. I like to be in control. Greg likes to look out the window.
Yeah.
Playing my game. Yeah, I've come to terms with just staying out of the way and things run smoother. Yeah.
And so you're just kind of, if you see a rock, will you say, "Hey, rock," and stop, or
I'll go try
you
to
just
pick
let
it
her
up
continue
first.
along her merry way?
No.
Yeah, we on the way back.
Yeah.
I was honored to be able to compete at Loon for Highland Games in September this past year, and so we took a lot of opportunities to stop at the very beautiful creek.
The mountain creeks that you're probably not supposed to take rocks out of, but hey, what are they going to do?
Yeah, I took a wrong turn. I was trying to beat traffic out of the event because the traffic is horrible there during the festival.
Mhm.
And so I thought if I turned right, I could just take a left eventually. But there wasn't a left-hand turn for an hour and 15 minutes.
It was crazy.
So we ended up at a creek with perfectly round stones. And we were lifting stones. And don't tell anybody, but I did take one and I brought it home, and it's my prized possession.
Super sweet. Yeah, it can
And so obviously super smooth, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, from the water being so fast. I mean, up in the mountain creeks, you're getting a lot of fast-moving water, so it erodes into a smooth surface, so it's super good to find the rocks up higher the best you can, you know what I mean?
Oh, thanks for mansplaining that.
Was that mansplaining? Come on.
I love
Wasn't
this
bad.
dynamic. No, that was definitely not mansplaining. But
Okay.
I would like you to compare it to the rocks that or the stones that you have in New York? Compare, like, because I've seen some in your collection.
Yeah,
And what would you say they're like around you?
Greg, go
A
ahead.
lot of it is based off. There's a bunch of different creek system and tribs we got around here. So some are moving fast. You get a lot of your nicer stones. Some are moving really slow that are going to be more, I don't know, hard surfaced. I don't know, but you can get literally anything around here. It could be huge flat rocks, giant like boulder lifting rocks, shot put rocks, Braemar rocks, anything you want. As long as you look for it, you can find it.
And I live kind of right under an escarpment. And so there's a lot of quarries all along the way. And I found someone on Facebook Marketplace, God bless Marketplace. And he had a bunch of stones in his backyard and he would sell them to people for $10 a stone. And I was the first person to come along to buy them for lifting.
Some pretty good stuff too.
And yeah, and those are very sharp and they hurt.
Quarry rocks.
Yeah.
You don't want quarry rocks are a little iffy. You mostly want a creek rock. You want to find it that's been eroded a little bit, for that nice smooth surface.
Okay, thanks, Greg.
Water. No. Just kidding.
And this is what I was expecting to happen on the partner edition.
We love it.
The dynamic, you guys are going to have a long, happy life going out on your adventures with stone lifting, because
we do a lot of
things
adventures.
come up, and I can just imagine the discussions that are going to happen. So talk to me about WNY, Western New York stone lifting, and the Instagram page that you've created that, and kind of what it's about and how the origins of that happened.
Yeah, so I mean, there's stone lifters around Western New York, but I feel like none of them really publicize the stone lifting. Not that we want to make it famous, but I want to get more people into it, because at the Northeast Strongest Stone Lifter in 2025 that the Stones of the North put on, Caber Christie, I can't stop referring to her as her Instagram handle. There were 3 of us, and
Same.
And we all, I mean, I think we did amazing. And everyone there was just so determined, but I would have loved to have seen a class of like 10 women just out there trying their hardest. And so I started the page trying to get traction to stone lifting in the area. And originally I wanted to feature just lifters from the Western New York area, maybe a little bit east of us. And I ran out of videos to post pretty soon.
Yeah,
I didn't make it too long before I had run out of Western New York stone lifters and just posting multiple videos that they had. And so I started asking anyone, just send in your videos.
Got some pretty cool stuff so far too. I mean, if you go on that page, I mean, there's some real wild lifts. I mean, there's a really smaller guy. What's his name? That.
Oh yeah.
He is unreal. I mean,
so now I feature just anyone who can pick up a
it looks
film.
cool. It's whatever.
Anything to get the word out, and people are surprised that there even is a stone lifting community, and it's definitely building around here.
Yeah.
I feel like more people are questioning it. They're getting into it, and we've definitely seen an increase, even with Tim at East Ave Barbell. He's been gathering a really great stone collection, and a lot of the people who train there have been lifting a lot.
Yeah, he's got like a whole posse with him now.
Yeah.
That's gotten really good at stones.
That he's definitely helping grow the community too.
Same with a lot of the powerlifting community up in 316. They've been getting 315. Sorry, I always mess that up. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of stone lifting. They've been coming like as a group. So it's good to see like really good, well-known power lifters, like just enjoying the stones after the meet. You know what I mean? It's really cool to see.
So like, who are the folks in Western New York? Like, I'm just trying to place a few. Is Rockman in that area or no?
Yeah, he was the first I was going to name. Yes, he's in the area. And I know we've messaged, we want to try to meet up at some point, but I feel like it's so hard to try to pinpoint a day in Western New York where it's not a blizzard,
not messed up,
or torrential downpours or 100 degrees. So I would love to meet up and do some stone lifting with him and Haley. She'll come over to my house and train, or she has some spots that she wants to go out to in her backyard and lift stones. So it's been growing, and now Greg comes up and lifts stones around here too, and I want him to do a stone lifting comp next year with me. Um it's been growing.
It's a barbaric sport. I mean, it takes a special person to truly enjoy this.
It is.
Seriously. Like, I feel like that's why it hasn't grown super big. Like, it's compared to this. I mean, even like just normal like bench squat, and I mean, it's different. I wouldn't say easier, but it's less damage on your body than picking up a 400-pound natural stone. You know, I don't know. It's just wild to me that it's brutal, especially if you really get into it and you really pick up any stone you see and you really go for it. You'll get yourself into some pickles.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely, taking it to shoulder to overhead, it's just a whole
Nice.
different level of pain, or any of the ring stones. But you kind of touched on something that I wanted to talk a little bit before we speak about kind of the events and the lifts that you've done. But I wonder with the Instagram, um, if sometimes and this is what I'm trying to do here at the Stone Table, is that sometimes we really highlight the big and like very strong, and not like kind of the little people or the smaller people that don't look like traditional lifters or doing the stone lifts. And I'm just wondering, does sometimes our Instagram success or what we show on Instagram impact maybe us getting women or, men out to the either sport or the practice?
Yeah, I know. I feel like, although they're amazing athletes, these women who are on performance enhancing drugs and lifting the insane stones, it is amazing to watch. It's some of my favorite videos, but I feel like those are the women who are featured for stone lifting all the time. And any normal, not strong woman looks at it and it's daunting. They don't think that they'll ever be that good. They'll never lift a stone that big.
It almost makes you feel inferior. They're gonna obviously post the better like stone lifters and the best of your like the best people in the thing, but like she was saying, yeah, we really need a lot of the midway people that are giving it their all, that are just not taking that next step.
Like Hannah Lindsay doing her carry with the Husafel is like, I watched the video with my jaw drop to the floor. It's incredible. But
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Yeah.
at the same time watching, I want to say Fallon, who she works out a lot at East Ave Barbell. I think her handle is the Shielded Maiden. She's very small and she would lift up monstrous.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel, as in my opinion, looking at her, that's just as impressive as
Any day.
some professional strong woman. It's incredible watching the people just giving it their all. Some of these
Midway.
smaller, midway, just any natural athletes, that's so impressive to watch them with these insane rocks as compared to professional strong women.
So I just think it's good to just show a little bit of everybody. Everybody's important. No one's not important, no matter how good they are. And that's what I think a lot of Instagram has to say nowadays, is if you're either famous, you're nobody. But Instagram and social media are tough to navigate nowadays, especially being a younger person.
It is. But I think that your page and others' pages, this table
Great
is
page.
is an important one, because we are able to bring everyone into the table, like
Exactly, yeah.
regardless of whether you're the strong lifters or the medium or just starting out. And I think that we have to continue, like, if we want to get people out into either doing it as a practice or through competition, we have to be able to normalize it. And
Make
just
it
like you were
approachable
saying,
too.
is
Yeah.
that make it see like it's reachable, make it approachable. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't
And I
make
think you're really
someone
doing that with your page.
for
I
sure.
was,
Love watching her
no, I was
page. Even
scrolling
I
through
love
your
her.
page, Hannah, and the right? It's, the people that she's highlighting, the
Awesome.
shielded maiden.
She's so strong. I mean, that should be highlighted. I mean, she's small, but like, even if she wasn't small, it still should be highlighted as just a good lift and not like everything is like judged off like size. Like I've always been considered like just monstrous compared to other people. And they've always expected me to just be so strong. Like I don't know. I just feel like size doesn't always accumulate to raw strength. Like, I mean, some of the little guys on the Stonelifting page lifting 400-pound rocks that weigh 190 pounds is nuts. You know, stuff like that is just awesome.
Yeah. So I think your creation of the page is really important to help build and maintain the community that we're creating.
Mm.
What would you say, though, is some of the invisible labor, though, that people don't see when you create a page like Western New York Stonelifting?
I've always been a very reserved person on social media. I applaud the people who just reach out to fellow athletes that they've never met in person and just start talking to them. Like Haley will start talking to anybody. If you're even in the same realm of the sport, she'll reach out to you and introduce herself and figure out what you're training today. How does this help you? Here's what I'm doing. And I've never done that. I always, I'm on there just sending reels to Greg and my friends. And so going into making this page, I've had to really connect with people. I've stepped out of my comfort zone. I've connected. I'm trying to build all of these relationships. I'm talking to people who live, a 12-hour flight away from me, and we're talking about our love of stone lifting, and it's just building relationships with people who have the same love of a sport. It's very rewarding. I've been meeting so many people, and everyone is so sweet. They're so supportive, and it's encouraging me to keep building this page and to keep making these connections and talk to more people because it's just a warm, cozy feeling of a community.
And so, what are your kind of dreams in taking it beyond the page? Or are you just are you staying with kind of focusing on building a community that way? Or are you going out also into competitions and things like that?
So I want to do a little bit of everything. I want to keep building the page and showcasing local lifters and lifters from all over the world. And I would like to use it to get a competition going in the area. I would like to use it to collaborate with other stone lifting pages and groups all over. I mean, we travel a lot in the Northeast for competitions for just Highland Games and Strongman alone. And so I would love to be able to work with other communities like the New England Stonelifters and the Stones of the North and build just sessions where we lift stones and get those to grow, invite people on those, get stone tours going. I know Caber Christie, we've been talking about a Finger Lake stone tour. And so I would love to keep expanding the page and to bring in more athletes from all over and to even just get your average Joe people who don't lift to follow the page and just see what's happening because every stone lift is just like a fun, strong party trick and people love watching it.
Yeah.
And we need more people just tuning in.
And I think we had talked about with Caber Christie, like doing a Women's Day kind of, and so hopefully we can get that underway in either 2026 or 2027. But for sure, I think the more we keep at it, the more we build the relationships, the more people, whether it be men or women, come into the practice or the sport. So
Perfect.
you've seen Hannah in her element doing the page, and she's into stone lifting now and all the other sports that she's doing, but specifically with stones. What was your first reaction to her going deep into into this niche world?
It's awesome. I just support it like fully. I know I've never questioned what she loves to do. I support it with everything I have. We like when we travel, we just travel. I mean, we just do whatever. It's really important. Just accept your partner for whoever they are.
And go with the flow.
Yeah, just go with the flow. Like, don't stress your partner out. That's like a huge thing that we're good at is not stressing each other. Like one of us gets stressed, the other one will defuse. You know what I mean? It's not a get mad at each other. It's a defuse sort of deal. So I love it. I love how she's strong and good at stones. It's sick.
Okay, so when you're lifting stones, what's the dynamic like? So let's say, Hannah, you're lifting the stone. Like, Greg, what is your role?
Yelling
Like, are
at
you
her.
cheering her on? Are
Oh,
you
yeah.
like, what are you doing? You're
I'd say
yelling at her?
mid aggression, cheering, full support. A little bit of aggression, yeah. I just
And
wanted her
so
to do her best, so, I mean, I know she's capable
that's
of
your
it.
role on stone.
Yeah, just cheer her on, knowing she's got someone there to hold her if she falls, too.
So I think that that's a strong foundation to start your marriage on. But
Mhm.
I'm assuming if it's anything like what I've went through planning a wedding and all the drama that can happen with that, what does support look like on those kind of unsexy days that are full of stress and, whether she's sore, busy, etc.? Like, how does your support show up then?
What do you want to go ahead? No, we always communicate. I don't like talking on the phone, and we live an hour away from each other, and we'll call each other every single day on the phone, and no matter what mood we're in, we'll instantly
Be
be in
okay.
a better mood. We always just cheer each other up, and we're we're really good with letting each other do their own thing. I can go the entire day not talking to him, knowing that he's busy at work, and then maybe going fishing with a buddy after work. And he knows that I'm at the gym or that I'm out stone lifting. And
There's no question ever with us.
there's no
We know what we're
question.
doing, we know we're on each other's path, you know what I'm saying?
We're always there no matter what. If we need support or if we need motivation, whether it's silent or whether we're in each other's
Pitching
face,
each other, just
it,
pushing each other,
yeah,
having each other to something.
yeah. We're always there for each other,
Yeah.
even though we do live an hour apart right now
Yeah.
until May.
I traveled for a long time for work, so when we initially got together, I was gone Monday through Saturday, sometimes 2 weeks at a time traveling for work, so that's what originally that built a really good foundation of just basic trust between each other of, like, we're gonna have I mean, I was doing 14-hour shifts and stuff sometimes, so, I mean, there'd be tons of distance, but we'd always know, like, we'd always be okay.
Hmm.
So it's just good to have someone there for you. I mean, this stuff's even there hard for a lot of people. Yeah. We're separate but together. We're separate entities but the same.
Yeah. And I think you have to remember that as you go forward. That's one thing that I think, as you say, most people forget. And I think it's great that you're starting off on that. But I want to go back to something that you spoke about at the beginning. We're going to segue back into sports here a little bit because you're both shot putters. And
Mm.
I would love to know how you think. First of all, I want to talk training schedule and I want to talk what you do to get as strong as you are, Hannah. I don't know about you, Greg, because I haven't seen your Instagram, but
I
Hannah
don't post on
is
social
super,
media.
super strong.
Mhm.
No,
Well,
but how
people
would you
don't need to see what
say
I'm doing.
shot putting set you up? How would you say shot putting set you up for success in this further strength development, both you and Greg?
Do you want to go first?
No. I mean, it's mostly just training ethic for me. Just being there, showing up, doing a good job, working your absolute best in the weight room. It just teaches you, it just teaches you a good routine. Routines are very important when it comes to a sport like this.
I think going from, although shot put and discus isn't necessarily a team sport, I mean, we would go to a track meet and you need to win the points for your school, obviously, or, you feel like you let some people down, even though it is an individual sport. And so kind of starting with that and trying your best because other people are relying on you, and then going to a more individual sport. I used to work extremely hard because I wanted to make my entire track team proud.
Yeah.
And so even though it is just me now, I feel like I carry that work ethic over because I trained hard for other people, but I got that training ethic. So now I just train hard for myself.
And what does that training look like? So you're, as folks know, you're in multiple sports. What does your training look like right now?
So right now I do just a little bit of everything. I work out if I'm not in my gym, I have a basement gym that I've filled up with a lot of good implements. But other than that, I work out at a powerlifting gym. So I've been able to create my own weird little lifting concoctions. Like I saw one time on an Instagram video that people put plates on the ground and then they put like a big medicine ball or a slam ball on top of it, and you lift the bottom and you do full extension to chest to kind of imitate an atlas stone. So I do a lot of makeshift stone lifting at the powerlifting gym. I do a lot of that. I have been working a lot on my lower spine. I had a very bad accident in November of 2024, and I was prepping for a comp, and I did the hard part of my prep that day, and I decided to do some goblet squats with a 40-pound kettlebell, which isn't much at all, but I ended up on the ground. I don't know exactly what happened. I ended up having to get a bunch of x-rays done. I called into work for 3 days, and I never call into work for an injury. So that's when I knew it was bad. I ended up getting a ton of x-rays. The doctor I saw wasn't sure if there was a fracture in my spine, possibly a couple slip discs, but they discovered that I barely have any cartilage left in my lower spine. So I always knew I was going to get arthritis doing what I do, but I didn't think that I would be riddled with it at the age of, I think I was 25 or 26 at the time. So I kind of switched gears. I'm not as strong as I used to be a couple years into when I started strongman, but I've been trying to build my lower spine, my glutes, my core, trying to make everything around it strong. And that's where I feel like stone lifting has helped because it's a lot of functional strength.
It's another thing. Don't let the small injuries win either. I mean, one small injury turns into multiple big injuries very quickly. You hurt yourself, take a day off, let it heal, let it get back. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been hurt and went out the next day and went as hard as I could. Didn't ever work out for me. Take care of your injuries.
Yeah, it's something that you definitely have to take care of your injuries, because I continued to lift through my back injury as well,
Yeah,
and it was
exactly.
just, it took so much longer to heal. And it'll nag every once in a while. But what is interesting that you say, Hannah, is that stone lifting is actually good for your back, because there's many out there that would say, the glass box that would say, no, like this isn't good. Talk to me about your protocols for your back injury and how you have been able to get to a point where you can lift a 200-pound Atlas stone tachyless to shoulder. Like, talk to us about that because that's phenomenal to be able to do a 200-pound Atlas stone no tacky to shoulder.
Yeah. So, first of all, going back to what you said about the people, on social media saying that stone lifting breaks your back. I had one video that kind of went viral of a woman stone lifting on my Western New York page. And I remember, not totally viral, maybe like 13,000 views, but there were a bunch of men in the comments saying she's going to break her back. And I just want you to know I deleted every single one of the comments. I wasn't going to fight with it. I deleted them all because in my head I was coming up with this perfectly executed comment to respond to them. And I realized it wasn't worth it because they never really understand.
Yeah, if they're gonna comment, if they're gonna waste their time and comment on something, there's no reason to engage back with them. Seriously, if you're a platform owner or something.
So training with a lower spine
Rehabilitation,
injury,
yeah.
it's been a lot of rehabilitation. I
Mm-hmm.
initially was told to stop heavy lifting if I wanted to have a quality of life down the road. He tried to give me an ultimatum saying that it's up to you, but you won't have a quality of life. And so my mom, who forced her way back into that room to look at the x-rays, was kind of eyeing me up because she knew I wouldn't fully stop. And so they recommended PT, which if you go to PT, it's kind of like the younger people get the program and then they send you off to do it on your own. And then they work a lot with older people who need PT, which is understandable. But at the same time, I thought, why pay for it if, they're just going to write me a program and send me on my way. So I took to social media because, I have a lot of strong friends and strong people always get injured. So I gathered all the tips and tricks I could from everyone. And they all told me build your glutes, strengthen your core, work work on building everything around your spine. And you'll never get your cartilage back, obviously, but you can make everything stronger to try to counter that. And so that's what I did. And I feel like Zerchers became a big friend of mine, even though I hate them. I do a lot of Zerchers. I do a lot of like full range of motion to the floor, back to full extension Zerchers. I do a lot of stiff leg deadlifts, a lot of RDLs, good mornings. And I feel like even just going out there and lifting a stone that's like 150 to 180 pounds for me, just getting into the motion of doing it over and over again, it's so much functional strength. And I'm I've built back my lower spine stronger than I think I ever could have been able to. I really thought that it was going to be the end of my strength training. I wasn't going to stop doing Highland games or anything or grip, but I really didn't think I could do strongman or stones. And so all of the training that I used for my lower spine has helped with stone lifting, and stone lifting has also helped with my lower spine, and it's just kind of come full circle.
Yeah.
And who does your programming, Hannah?
Hannah.
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 Yeah, I freeball that. I always said that, if I get really good, I'll pay for someone to program me, but if you see me in a gym, I'm usually staring off in the distance because I'm trying to think of what I can do that day in that moment. So just know that whatever I pick
Go with the flow.
for that day, I just thought of it 2 seconds prior.
So it's more an intuitive type program. But I mean, it's just remarkable that that's your approach because as I said, we've competed against each other, or not against each other. We've competed in competitions with each other in strongman. And I've seen you lift some of these crazy stones. And like, it's just like there's some of the best lifts that I've seen someone do.
Thank you.
And I just think that, yeah, no, I really do. And I hope that people will watch the YouTube version of this to be able to see the amount of technique that you apply. Like in particular, I do want to talk to you about your stone to shoulder. And I've been working on that lately. And I picked up something that Stu Squatch said in one of his videos with War Yoga the other day. And it was about creating kind of a stronger base. And my back has been fine ever since. Can you talk to us about, I think it was 180 pounds stone to shoulder that you were doing. It was a natural stone to shoulder. Can you talk about a bit about your technique for what you do for stone to shoulder? Because it's, for some, I think it's a pretty intimidating lift, especially when you get to the chest.
Mm-hmm. I've always had very strong legs, and that's definitely helped. And I've always had a really good hip thrust for getting a log up. And so those I feel like are two things that help immensely with stone to shoulder. I like to take a wider stance, and I get really, really low to the floor.
Really low.
I always say ass to grass.
To grass.
And so I'll get almost into like a seated position practically.
It's wild.
And then, I bear hug it up to my chest. So I'm not parallel, but close to being parallel. And then good morning it up until I'm standing. And if I get stuck halfway where it's at my waist, I try to hip thrust it as much as I can up. And then once I get it up to maybe like my collarbone, I usually just shimmy.
She's got enough strength to just kind of wiggle it. Once it's up here, I mean, you kind of got the lift. Once it's up here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like in my experience, if you get it up to your collarbone, there's a 99% chance
for
you
sure.
can just wiggle it on up.
Yeah, and people will just drop it too, which is crazy. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you can kind of wiggle it, but a lot of people I feel like they panic and just drop it because they're like, "Holy crap, it's gonna crush me." Understandable.
Yeah, yeah. And were you there for when she did that 180 pounds stone that I'm talking about?
I don't think you were. I usually just do it when I'm at home. I wait till it gets like nice and cool out at night, and I'll
We find that. We found that. No,
I got that with Corey. Gotcha. And yeah, I like when, in the heat of the summer, once it gets a little cooler out, I like going out when it starts to get dark, and I just start lifting my rocks all alone with the chicken pen that's right next to my rock collection. And they all watch me, and that's when I do my best work.
That sounds like a dream to me. That's how I'm going to retire.
It's great.
I have loved absolutely watching this dynamic between you two. Like it's so reassuring and so full of laughter. How do you protect that when life gets heavy? Like how do you protect that playfulness when kind of things, when life, when
tough.
work,
It's
when
tough.
all the things weigh?
You got to remember, like, when those tough times come up, you got to remember what this person and who you're fighting for. So when you're in that little tough, slight period of time moment, you ignore that issue and you just move to the bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. Like if you guys have an argument and you just talk about it and just leave it alone, but like you gotta just talk about it. You can't fight, you can't yell, and you can't bring each other down. Because that's what I watch my parents do it. So many relationships revolve around fighting. There's no communication. There's no agreement with each other. Like I don't know, and I feel not just like, but in my personal experience, I've watched a lot of my friends' relationships have a rock in them. Sorry. Because of them not being able to communicate with their partners, them being aggressive about things when a partner brings something up to you, like listen to them. Don't just get defensive. Why they're bringing this up for a reason. They're not just spam blabbing. You know what I mean?
And if you're with someone, people grow. You're never the same person that you were yesterday.
Grow with the person.
You got to grow with the person. If you want to stay with them, you got to grow with them.
Yeah, they can't be on a whole nother timeline with you still joking around, messing and partying. I mean, you got to be on the same path to succeed together. Can't just be one person. It's got to be both of you at all times. It's hard nowadays, that's for sure. There's so many different things to get you off track on a day-to-day basis, whether it's social media, whether it's real life, it's just tough. You just gotta stick with your partner.
Yeah. And so we've talked a lot about strength. We've talked a lot about stone lifting. What's one thing that you do together that has absolutely nothing to do with the strength world?
Fishing.
Fishing. Yeah, we always go fishing together.
Love it.
Whenever whenever we go somewhere for a Highland game, I always book in a hotel or an Airbnb by somewhere we can fish.
That's another thing about, like, have something that your partner, like, not just being there, like, to support, but, like, have something there for your partner to look forward. I mean, there's so many people that just make everything so stressful. I mean, you could do other stuff for your partner too. I mean, it's the little things that really just make a relationship work at the end of the day.
Yeah, ever since the beginning, he would always be so supportive coming with me. He would work Monday through Friday, traveling nonstop, states away, and then he would come home. He would repack his bag and get in my truck and then drive to a different state with me for the weekend and have to stay there. So I really appreciated it. And so I started booking places by lakes, rivers.
And that's the growing thing together, is learning how your partner is in a relationship and how you have to grow together. It's awesome. When you truly find someone you really love and want to be there for and grow with, it's awesome to be in a relationship. It really is. You got to have the right person, though. Seriously, it's tough to find that person. You
have to put in the work. My husband and I have been together for over 25 years, and it's definitely, it's had ups and downs. We've had kids in the mix.
Yeah.
I've had this stone passion. I've had strongman. I've had all the things, and he's just much like you, Greg. He's super
How's your
supportive.
dynamic with him? Same thing.
And like, I mean, he was even the one. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So supportive
Awesome.
and independent. I do my own thing, and everything that I do to him is like the most amazing thing. And
Yeah,
that's kind of
exactly.
what I
It's the
want to
little
ask about
things.
you is what is some of the most, right? It's the little things. And what is one of the most amazing things that you've seen Hannah do when it comes to stone lifting?
Stone lifting or just in general? I have a couple for each of them. Some for stone lifting.
You give it all. Shower her with all of it.
They're both kind of the same. Actually, just the support for a fellow competition is just unreal. And, like, if you've ever been in a competition with her, she's always cheering everybody on. And you'll notice a lot of people, a lot of other competition will just cheer for certain people, but nah, it's every person. It's important. Like, everybody deserves to be cheered on. It's like, and I've been to so many of these competitions that I see what goes on at these. You know what I mean? I'm not just a bystander. I'm super aware of what's going on around me and stuff. So I really pay attention to these things. And it's really, really kind of, I mean, you should see like the pro class. I mean, there's people in the crowd screaming. Then you get to the novice class and there's people just looking the other way. It's like, it just kind of like bothers me and upsets me that these people ain't getting, I know it's different between classes. I mean, they came to watch the pros, this, that, but it's very important. She's really good at cheering on and making sure everybody feels welcome. That's for sure. Same with them, like, and without the sports too, just making everybody
She's
comfortable with
definitely
their
made
job.
me feel that way.
Yeah, she's really good at it.
And Hannah, what about you for Greg?
He's I love how he'll do anything for anyone. If you need help, Greg's there. For people in his life who he has this one friend who travels for work and he doesn't really have any family in the area. Nobody ever really checks up on him. And Greg's always like just in the middle of the week, he'll be states away on a road trip for welding or something. And Greg just texts him and says, "Hey, how are you doing?"
Keeping a check on your friends.
He'll check in on anyone. And he's always thinking of other people. And if you've ever met Greg, then you'll probably just start getting a bunch of reels sent to you on Instagram. he's always thinking of everyone, and he always wants to make someone laugh.
Mhm.
He always wants to talk to someone. My family has never received so many posts on Instagram from a significant other of mine until Greg came along. I'll be out and about with someone and their phone just starts beeping and they look down there, why is Greg such
Thanks to Mommy Lisa.
I don't know. I don't know, but if you open it, I don't know what it's gonna be either. Is it could be it could be wild. He loves making people laugh. He loves checking in on people, and he's so helpful with everything and supportive.
And so, what do you think? How what rituals do you have that kind of cement that, like on a daily basis? Given the fact that you live further apart, like what things do you keep consistent?
We
Nation.
yeah, we always text each other good morning. It's gonna be weird to have to live with him because I won't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we always text each other good morning. We always text each other halfway through the day. How's your day going? How's work? We always call each other as soon as we're out of work. And we just always we stay constant.
Yeah.
We always talk.
You don't switch up on your partner either.
Even if you don't have anything to say, just be there.
Yeah, I think having those little rituals are really, really important as you go forward for sure. And I think a lot of people in listening here, whether it be stone rituals or partnership rituals, like I think having that kind of consistency, the discipline, the commitment, it just carries over into all the things that you
Commitment's the
do,
English
whether it's,
thing.
as I said, stone lifting or partnership. There's so many things. Hmm. So we're getting into the final pieces here, but I really want to talk more about kind of some of the highlights of your sports careers. So we'll start with Greg and then we'll go to Hannah.
Uh, I mean, I'm not like a well-known athlete, but like, like the small town, like person who's well known in like a small town, like that's what I'd consider myself being. I was like really good, but in a small town, I couldn't get traction like I needed to be where I could have been, in my opinion. I had low grade coaches through most of my life that really didn't help me nor cared for me, to be honest with you. So I had to end up getting a personal shot put coach, which ended up doing okay, but I never got to where I needed to be. And I'm a person who needs to feel they're cared about and I need someone to like have faith in me at all times. And I never had any of my coaches ever have faith in me growing up, and it was the worst. And I always did everything for them, but they never did nothing for me. And I don't get it to this day. I still think about it. They'd always help the quarterback or they'd help someone more important,
Hmm.
someone like I was saying that was just bigger part. Like, I don't know. I led the team in like sacks for a couple of years. I mean, I was a big part of it, but I didn't get the recognition like the running backs did. The quarterbacks is the same thing with like the major like football players. Like you don't see linemen being talked about too often. It's mostly quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, you know what I mean? So it's just tough. But that's pretty much been I've always been in sports no matter what, but it's been pretty good. Yeah. It's probably about the highlight is just enjoying and building good routines,
Well, I
just
definitely see
friendships.
in your demeanor. Your demeanor has made up for all of those coaches. Like you are being the complete opposite of that with
Yeah,
everybody that is in
they
your
taught me how
life.
to not. Yeah,
And we all get to benefit from that because
it's
mhm,
tough. Yeah,
like when we were at Fort yeah, when we were at the fort, you were so supportive. You were just you had a really good energy there for that day, and it was new for me because I was just meeting a whole bunch of people that were new for the
hmm
first time, and you just put everybody at ease. And I think you're a good example of how you could take something like that and turn it into
yeah. You got to learn as a
not
person. You got
dragging
to
you
grow.
down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Hannah, what would you say is some of your best accomplishments that we'll start with stone and then you can go into, I'm sure there's some grip stuff in there.
Yeah, so for stones, I'd say I'd say, although it wasn't recorded or anything, the lunchroom walking stones, I want to give it a go for distance. That was it was a rush in the moment, and if I had known that that was something important, I would have given it my all. So I mean, I felt as though at the time that was a big accomplishment, and so now I want to go back for more. So definitely the lunchroom walking stones.
Mhm.
I tried those
Yeah,
stones
that
that
was a
day in
very
Crocs.
I saw the after part.
Yeah.
The handles are odd too because for those that haven't lifted them, the chains kind of they're higher. They make them higher than they normally would be, which you think would be easier. But for Hannah and I, who are shorter, it's very challenging
Mhm.
to be able to lift those and get the air under them with the chain that's there. And what about your grip achievements?
For grip,
Going to the Arnold in general is pretty sick.
I'd say, I mean, yeah, for the past couple years, we've been on the main stage at the Arnold. So a lot of people were watching us, and that was cool. But I think my favorite achievement was the year prior when I went in the open class and we were on a little side stage. I had never competed at something of that high of a level, and I did not expect much, and I think I hit PR after PR that day,
Mhm.
and being able to do it, especially, Haley was there too. She won, I came in second. Being able to do it with her. Greg was in the audience. He was recording every lift that I did, and I remember as I was going along, I was texting my mom, and she was freaking out for me, and I ended up qualifying for the Olympia and for the pro class at the next Arnold. And so what led the arm lifting sport that I've gotten into, I feel like that initial year was the best and most rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing to watch you progress that year from afar, to see you just really excel. Uh, I want to just stop here before we go into kind of a lightning round of questions, game show style. But grip, can you talk to folks about some key grip things that they could do that you incorporate into your routine that would help with stone lifting?
I think any kind of rows with sandbags or stones. I'll get 100-pound sandbag, and I'll bust out a ton of reps doing rows with that, and then I'll start stacking plates on top of it. I feel like that, because it moves in your hands and it gets hard to grip underneath. I feel like that really helps because, every stone's different and you never know what the handles are going to be on the stone. So,
Be able to grip it to lift it.
yeah, I mean, I do rows with stones too, with
Mhm.
just a bunch, different angles, different stones. But as much as I hate sandbag carries and lifts, I despise them. I love doing rows with them because it is so malleable and it's always moving in your hands, and you have to adjust your grip to get to there. And it has given me an advantage on stone lifting, just picking them from the ground.
For sure. And what about, do you have any advice, Greg, on kind of accessory or supplementary exercises that you have in your programming currently that would help with kind of stone lifting or transfer?
Uh, I'm really big into grip, but, like, not the whole grip, just my hands. I have, like, really crazy strong hands, so it's like I just love playing with the grip thing all day. It's, like, one of my favorite things, and I can make custom grip limits too with pretty ease, like custom fab stuff, which is I've made a couple for her over the past
Yeah.
couple weeks. But, yeah,
Oh, I'll
just
need to see those. Like, are we
just
talking like the
strengthening the
grippers, like,
Yeah, yeah.
Not like the crazy professional grippers, like
The
the one that you can
30
adjust
through
the weight
90
on.
kg, yeah. So you can do rapid sets. You can do a slow squeeze to focus like this part of your muscle. You have so many little tendons and stuff in your wrist. You mess up your wrist once, you're going to be dealing with it for a long time. You strengthen all these muscles and tendons around here, you're going to have a lot better time.
I'll fall asleep and I'll wake up hours later and he's sitting at the end.
Just gripping
Just going to town on it.
Like,
all day, every day.
What's that squeeze thing where you test your grip? I have one of those in my room. Every week I'll check at the end of the week if I've gotten a couple pounds on the grip thing.
Yeah, his face will turn red, and if he doesn't add to his grip poundage, he gets very, very angry.
I've gotten to 169 was my max on my right hand. 169 pounds of pressure, grip force, whatever it is.
I invested in one of those in the fall, so I'm working on mine as well, and
they're fun.
I'm actually sitting beside all of the things right now in my gym. I have my rice pail. I have
I love the rice.
My grippers. I have my elastics.
Have you had a wrist injury?
What would, if you had to? Yeah, I do actually. I even have it now on my left. I think it's turned to a bit of arthritis.
Yeah, probably.
But
over the years.
Yeah, I've been working on. Yeah, like I've been working on it through that. What would you say for the rice pail? A routine for people.
So my coach actually, this is like the one thing my shot put coach gave me. We used to go like this, we'd put hands in, and we'd have to go like this. We'd spread it with our fingers, and it would shoot this muscle. A lot of people, when they do grip, they don't hit this big main muscle here, and that pushing the rice outwards flares everything in your arm, and then you flare out and you hard grip squeeze back in, and it's really awesome. It'll blow your forearms off. Like you'll be sitting in the rice like this.
Yeah.
I love the rice. The rice is
for cheapness. I saw tonight on so sorry, and you said sorry, I didn't catch the last thing you said.
Oh, just the rice thing for like how cheap it is. I mean, you get a little bucket and some rice for like $10. I mean, that's a grip implement right there for $10. You know, I mean, seriously, can't beat it.
Yes. So add that into your arsenal everywhere. You've heard it here from Greg. All right. So we went through all of the things. Is there anything we didn't touch on that you want to mention before we go into our speed round?
Yeah, other like community pages trying to like reach out and help out. You know what I mean? Like more like, I don't know. He's got a lot of creators, and I feel like they don't want to like help the young, like the newer generation of sports or whatever. It's just hard to get out there nowadays, and especially with like Instagram controls everything through what they see through algorithms. So it's really hard to really get traction. The only really way to get traction is to go viral off this random video, or for some main person to post you on their page. That helps a lot, you know?
And I feel like I've been seeing so many little stone lifting pages pop up. I'll get a follow of some little place in some random state, and they have a stone lifting group. And
yeah.
The next thing you know, the New England Stonelifters is sharing it. You're sharing it. You know, all of these pro lifters are sharing it, and it's really cool to watch the people that take time out of their day to try to gain traction for these
sport they love
groups.
I think that is a super way to end the formal part of this discussion, because, well, it's not formal, but like the main part of the discussion.
Yeah.
I do think we need to support
cheer each other on. There's so much hate. And is it
right through, like just
crazy.
as you said, like what.
Crazy. Just enjoy each other's company. We all don't gotta be mad at each other. It's wild.
Especially in the world we're living right now.
I know, dude. It's like crazy. I mean, so many people are mad at each other right now. Just we all can just exist, dude. Coexisting is like impossible nowadays.
Yeah.
Just being friends with people, just saying how you're doing, holding the door for someone.
There's
it makes
stones
people
for everyone.
stay.
Stones are for everyone.
Stones are for everyone. All shapes and sizes.
Stones are for everyone. There's enough for everyone.
Yeah, there's enough for everybody, is right.
All shapes and sizes. All right. So here we go. Quick questions. And kind of this is a he or she type answer. So who would spot stones first in the wild? Hannah or Greg?
Are we looking for stones we're trying to pick up or looking for stones that we have use out of?
He does the big
Yes.
stones for lifting. I always find little stones for Braemar and stone put.
We kind of tag team it, to be honest with you. We're looking for different things, but looking for rocks, you know? Say definitely both
Well,
of
you
us.
need both, okay? I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
right?
great partnership.
All the rocks.
You've got a
Take
great
'em all.
stone partnership happening. So who underestimates a stone most?
Greg.
Me.
Greg.
I don't care if I can't lift it. I'll try. Doesn't
What's
matter.
the heaviest stone you've lifted, Greg?
At the Northeast Strongest Stone Lifter, after the comp was done, everyone was just going around playing with some stone.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This one that was about
420?
little, like 420.
425.
And he's super strong. He picked it right up off the ground to chest. I don't even know if he lapped it that much.
I tried. Lapping's not one of my things because I've always, since being a kid, I'd grab them and I'd just stand up with them. So I really just starting to learn the actual technique is weird for me because I've always just tried to raw dog it at all times. So no belt, no straps, no nothing, just me and the rock. You know what I mean? Tons of injuries. It's part of the fun though.
Well, I prefer it that way too. I
Yeah.
do prefer. So who would, and I think I know the answer to this because you kind of gave it away here, but who would likely be more to say, yeah, that'll go?
Oh, I think we're both pretty cautious. I mean,
I don't know. Me, because I'm reasonable. If I really think it'll go,
Oh, yeah?
I think it'll go. Greg will say it to any stone that he sees.
it'll go. It'll move. I can move it.
That's what I thought.
I've
That's
dug
what I
rocks out of the
thought.
ground to try to move them
He's
before.
willing to bet it all.
Mhm.
Yeah, oh, yeah, risk it all.
Okay, now, this one I do know, and I'm going to ask you which one, but who gets emotionally attached to specific stones?
Both of us, but mostly Hannah. She's got like a whole collection, but I have some at home that are like childhood, like memorabilia for me. And one's still in the creek right now that I've been trying to get out for years and years and years. I just dug it up last fall. Yeah. With Hannah to try to move it. I hope it didn't get washed away this year.
It definitely didn't.
It's so big, dude. It must be 700 pounds, dude. It's huge. For no reason, just trying to move it. I'm never going to be able to pick it up.
That is love of stones.
It's great.
What about the heart stone? The one where you two are standing together? Where's that?
It's my favorite.
So that one was at Troy Johnson hosted a Highland game at a brewery out in Tivoli, New York. And he brought some of his personal stone collection. And I think it was his dad that ended up finding that stone when he was younger. And
like a family, yeah, it's been family for a while.
And I think his dad told him that here's a hammer, make it look more like a heart, because they thought it was cool, and he did. And so he brought that along during
really good stone.
the stone lifting day.
Yeah.
And so a bunch of it was us and another couple, we were all doing a little photo op and picking that up.
Oh, so just real quick.
I really, really think that everybody needs,
like at the Highland Games, especially when there's a stone lifting event with the Highland Games, it's always super packed and like it's awesome to see. Because I feel like when I first started coming to events like 3 years ago, I'd say is when I really noticed it. Like people, they were doing stone stuff there. Yeah. Dude, there'd be like 6 people around, but now we were just at one. I'm not kidding you, 50 plus people just all around. It's cool to see. I mean, especially when they're doing it at Highland Games too, where it's a bigger crowd coming in is very important. At festivals and stuff, it's awesome. Fires me up seeing a stone that I can pick up at a festival. Yeah.
And we're seeing more of them. We're seeing more show up back up at the Highland Games. And that's,
It's kind of hard lugging
And
stones
so who would be
around,
best then reading the stone before touching it?
Me.
It is. But I get my partner to do it because he's so supportive. You are. Are you, Hannah?
Yeah, because I'm reasonable.
You can read the handles?
Yeah, I'm reasonable. I take my time.
And who has more patience then with like
Me.
prepping
Hannah.
and
Hannah.
waiting?
Me again?
Patience in general is just Hannah. That's all you need to say.
Okay. And this next one, I know the answer for Greg. I'm not sure of it for Hannah though, but favorite stone surface? Smooth, sharp, awkward, unknown.
Smooth.
I like sharp. I want to look
Yeah, I
like
knew you
I
Yeah.
Got beat up by your boyfriend?
want to look like I took a cheese grater to the forearms. I love it. I don't know, because people ask me. I'll go to my job where there's people in high up education, and they look at me, and my arms are like scaly and red
And
and
bruised.
ask what happened, and I'm like, oh, I'm just stone lifting. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it.
Solo lift day or partner stone day?
I feel like having a mix of both. Sometimes I really like going out there all alone with my music and just lifting in the peace and quiet of my backyard. And then other days, I feel like you get a more successful lifting session with
With a partner.
And then finally, one word for how stones have shaped your relationship.
adventurous.
Commitment. Just to the sport and to the
One word.
commitment. I just said that before.
Yeah, okay, you can each have a word.
Okay.
You can each have a word. You both have been such an amazing couple to chat with tonight after work on a Friday. Have had a complete
was fun.
blast going through all of the things, stone and life and love and but as we end off the episode, I always ask for 3 pieces of advice. And it can relate to stone lifting or it doesn't have to relate to stone lifting at all. It can relate to relationships and love and whatever you feel that the listeners should take away on this episode.
Never shy away from any lift, stone, strongman, grip, anything. You know, if you see something that you think you're interested in, just do it because it could be the start of one of the best things ever. Number 2, find someone who you can just do random things with. I used to try to make myself smaller and be a specific way because that's how, someone else wanted me to be, and it made me miserable. So find someone who accepts you for who you are and doing weird things and force them to marry you so that you can get the government. Do you have a third one?
I just enjoying the time you guys spend with your partner. It's just so important. I mean, I see there's just so many unhappy couples in today's day and age. Just enjoy each other's company. Don't be so rude to each other. It's crazy. I mean, just out in general, I see couples yelling at each other, screaming in front of their kids. It's like just have some respect for each other, and everything will be a little bit better.
Respect your partner and respect the
everybody.
stone.
Yeah, respect the stone and respect your partner. For real.
Love thy neighbor, love thy stone.
Love thy neighbor.
Love thy stone.
You know what? Let's get t-shirts made. I feel like that
Yeah.
would be an
Love thy
appropriate
stone.
an appropriate theme. No, thank you both for this, for joining me tonight, for your absolute honesty, for your laughs, and basically the way that you live your strength through something that you share together.
Yeah, you got to find a partner that
It's
enjoys
absolutely beautiful, and you really do. And Hannah, thank you so much for the work you do to keep stone culture alive and expanding it with the Western New York Stone Lifting page and all the work that you're going to do with, events and things coming up. And Greg, thank you for showing us
No
what
problem.
real support looks like in a relationship. I mean,
Always.
it's been evident through this whole conversation. And I just want to say for everyone that's listening, hit up the Western New York Stone Lifting page for amazing things to see and lifters that you may not recognize, but some
Yeah.
pretty cool stuff happening in that part of the United States. So thanks again, all. Subscribe, like, and tell your friends. Have a great night. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.